Tharsis, there we go. White Wizard wants to, you love some Invisible Ink, but as the new guy here, I'm not going to vote against everyone else. Space Ending, it's my second favourite cannibalism-oriented game. Well, okay, you've raised a question now. What is your favourite cannibalism-oriented game? That is the thing that people always remember about Tharsis, is that you can just eat the crew. Oh, RimWorld, of course, RimWorld. I still haven't played RimWorld, but I have heard about the... yes, I have heard about the cannibalism in that. Okay, let me just... I don't actually have a game capture for Tharsis. I obviously haven't done it for a while. Tharsis. So White Wizard, even though this wouldn't be your choice, have you heard of Tharsis? Have you played Tharsis? Okay. How do I skip? How do I skip? I've forgotten how to skip. There we go. That's how I skip. Don't, for the love of God, you'll never escape. Okay, Tharsis. New game. Right. I've unlocked everybody. Let's play on... I'm gonna maybe play on normal, just because I haven't played for maybe about... Oh, White Wizard, you heard your name, but it was AFK. I was just asking if you have seen or heard of Tharsis, on whether this was going to be completely new to you, or whether you kind of... whether you know of it anyway. But yeah, don't worry, White Wizard, I do stream Invisible Ink a lot from time to time, because I just love it. It's like my favourite game, pretty much. Okay, so I'm just going to turn down my headset volume, because I feel like I'm having to shout at you because the music's a bit loud. I hope the game and my voice and music balance is good for you guys. You've seen it before, definitely board games in video gaming space. Yes, absolutely. So I quite like using... Who do I quite like using? The Commander is a must, right? Let me just untick everybody. The Commander is a must. Maybe the Doctor isn't all that helpful, although looking at the stats, I've had more victories with the Doctor than I have with some of the others. The Captain is really useful. I personally favour the Mechanic, because I like just being able to buff the hull on spare good dice. And I am going to go for... do I go for the Specialist, or do I go for the Technician? Technician's quite useful for picking up assists. I'm going to go Technician. I'm going to go Technician. Okay. It's a bit slow and ponderous. What's happening? Here we go. Okay, so for those of you that don't know what's going on, we are on a mission to Mars, and a micrometeoroid strike has hit the ship, destroyed one of our rooms, and killed most of the crew. What we basically have is, in each of these locations on the ship, there is a disaster that needs to be fixed. If we don't fix this disaster by the end of this round, these things will happen. So on this one here, that represents, these two red bars represent 2 damage to the hull, and this one here represents every crew member losing 1 health. There are hazards, so we have to roll this number in order to fix that problem. And there are hazards on the dice. So blue hazard means that the dice will do what's called stasis, which means that the dice will freeze on that number, and also it will give stress to the crew. Purple is void, so if I roll a 3 on a die, I lose that die. That's bad times. Also, if I travel through a room without dealing with it, I lose health on a person. So that's not good either. It sort of makes sense. Tony, you're back. When you say, does that mean when you're back? You've literally just missed me explaining the rules to this game. Let me know, Tony, if you heard that explanation or whether I need to go through it again. Sorry, I didn't realise I hadn't spotted you saying you were going out for a smoke. Never mind. Okay, let me think. So I've got to make 23. I've got 2 dice on each of these characters. So making 23 with 6 dice is pretty low odds. So why don't I look? Joy is already in this location, so why don't I try and deal with her? Okay, so just to summarize again, so what we need to do is I've got 3 dice that I can roll. I have to make 9 with 3 dice, and if any of them roll a 3, I'm going to lose that die. So that's a problem. So let's, but I've also got an assist, so an assist will negate 1 hazard. Let's see what I get. Pretty good. So I have made exactly 9. So I think what I'm going to do is not push my luck. I'm going to take that. So that hazard is clear. Woo! Okay. What's the best one to use on this? I think what I might try and do... Yeah, it's Matt Damon's The Martian except in reverse. It absolutely is. I'm going to deploy the captain first. Because if I get a 5 or a 6, which I have, I'm going to use that to give the other 2 crew members dice, because I think that's a more valuable... If I've now got 6d6, 6 times 7, no, 6, 3 times 7. It's still tight, but I might do it. So let me re-roll this 1. Yay, that was what I needed. Okay. Garzini, hello, welcome. Oh, you've seen this before, have you, Garzini? Awesome. So let's bring in which one shall I do first? The mechanic or the commander? Doesn't make all that much difference. Average of 6d6 is 21. Yes, absolutely. It is. It's 3.5 basically. 3.5 times 6. It's actually easier to do it, to think of it as 3 times 2d6, because you know that 2d6 is average of 7, but yeah, 6d6 is 21. I'm trying to work out if it makes any difference which of these 2 I do first. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the commander first, because his specialism is to do with repair, although he's rolled really well. Let's just do it. That's such a good roll. I'm just going to spend it. Which now means this is a really strong position, because it means that the mechanic now only has to make 5 off 3d6, which with 2 rolls should be possible. Perfect. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the 2 and the 4. That event is now complete. Now I have a spare dice to spend. Yay! Ooh. So I can either spend that on buffing the hull, or I can use it to gain dice, or I can put it in research. I think I'm going to use it to gain dice. Dice is probably the most valuable thing I can do, I reckon. That's the end of the round with no things. But I should specify that I am playing this on normal difficulty. So on normal difficulty, it is pretty much set up that you can clear all the disasters on the first round. Okay, so now we have to choose projects. So it's plus 20% stress either way. That's going to give me 2 assists. That's going to be plus 1 health for all crew. Well, I am going to take the health, because that's going to save me a trip to the infirmary. And we've gained 1 food. Let me spend that on the captain, because the captain can give other people dice. Okay, that's not too difficult. That is not too difficult at all. What I might do is bring Joy into here first, because then the captain can roll and hopefully give her a bonus die. Although there's voids in here which aren't particularly nice. Snake eyes! That's interesting. Let's just re-roll. That's better. What I might do then is spend her 5 on getting some assists. And I'm going to put her 3. Yeah, woohoo, casino! What shall I put her 3 in? Shall I put her 3 in reducing that? I mean, the captain's about to barrel in with 5d6. So it's probably not worth it. So maybe I will use that to give her some extra dice. Yep. And then the captain can go next with his massive 5d6. So one of the things I haven't explained is every time you roll, you lose a d6. It goes down by 1. So it actually kind of expends them. And we've got 3 assists here. So the captain is going to be protected against injuries and voids, which is good. I'm going to keep one of the 3s. Garzini, is there a board game version of this, or was it made for computer? As I understand it, it was made for PC. I would very much like a board game version of this. Very much indeed. Okay, let's use his ability. Buff everyone's dice. It's going to cost me the 6, the 3 and the 5 anyway, isn't it? The 6, sorry, the 2, 3 and the 6. There's no way around that. That's fine. But that gives me a 6 that I can put in research, which is nice. So I now have the mechanic and the commander to deal with this, which is going to be a dice penalty. So let me send the commander in first. Nice. Nicely done. So let's use his ability. He's got, actually no, we might as well. Is it worth re-rolling? It's not worth re-rolling because his special ability turns anything under a 4 into a 4, so I may as well spend that. Which means I can theoretically actually just clear this room. Which would mean that my other guy. Or shall I reduce his stress while I can? No, let's do that. Let's fix it with him. So I've actually now got a free choice with the mechanic. What I could do is I could send him to the infirmary to get some health. I could send him to this room in order to lower his stress. Stress is important. I could send him to that lab. No, let's send him to the infirmary, seeing as I've got a free roll. Might as well spend the 2 good ones. And actually I've got a 1, 2 and a 3 which I can put in research projects. Oh, you used to play Yahtzee on your computer loads as a kid. I actually really like Yahtzee. I don't know why people say Yahtzee isn't fun. I kind of think Yahtzee is... I mean, I'm sort of... You know, I do have lots of other games now that I can take on holiday that are much more portable than Yahtzee and are much more fun than Yahtzee. I mean, Ultra Tiny Epic Kingdoms is a great example of a massive game that I now have in a box that's the size of a deck of cards. But I think Yahtzee is good throwaway fun. Oh, so Flatline and Fuse have similar mechanics to they. I'd really like to play both of those actually. Okay, so we have a choice here of +2 assist and +20% stress. Well, that's a waste of an assist because I've already got 2. And these guys are going to give me 1 food and 30% stress for us. I'm going to do that even though they're quite high stress. But that gives me food I can give to the commander. That's a good thing. Okay. We are getting there. We are getting there. So... I want the technician to have a crack at lowering his stress. So let's go here. I'm going to keep the 4s. Which I'm just going to keep one of the 4s. Oh, rubbish. Rubbish. I didn't get a single thing that allows me to use the room's abilities. So I could just clear it. Shall I clear it? Or I can put a 4 in. I'm going to put a 4 in there, and I'm going to spend the rest. Oh, so you're saying there's a Star Trek co-op dice which is manic. That sounds fun. I like the sound of that. If you get a red alert timer, a timer starts, so you have to make decisions really quickly. Cool. I do think my parents got that one. It was the original series base, wasn't it? For those of you who don't know the game, he's rolling really well. It's usually harder than this. I don't know whether I'm rolling. I have rolled a little bit well, but I am also playing it on normal difficulty. So, yeah, it's a little bit... Yeah. Let me bring the captain to here. Oh, great, I've got a stasis. So I've got 4 to spare. So 1 and a 3. I'll tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the 6, the 5 and the 1. I'm then going to do +1 health on the crew. And I'm going to put the 1 and the 3 back into research. So Tony, you get 1 reroll basically, which is where you've got the hold area for. There is a character that gets like 2 rerolls, but I'm not using them. Okay, so now the mechanic can come to here and hopefully use the de-stress. That is what I would really like. Okay. So I'm going to reduce his stress, because if I don't reduce his stress, he's going to suggest some really bad projects. Okay, so the 1 and the 4 are going to go into repair. And I think I'm going to put that into research projects. Tiny Epic Galaxies, yeah, absolutely. I love Tiny Epic Galaxies so much. Elder Sign, another game. There's so many games I haven't played. So many games, so little time. Okay, there are 2 injury hazards, which is not good, but I'm going to risk it. And that is bad. Is the expansion worth it to Tiny Epic Galaxies? I don't know. I have not had the chance to play it yet, which is a real shame. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cheat. Am I going to cheat? Well, I might as well use these for repair. That brings it down. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to spend the 17 override. Yes. And then put that in there. And then, yeah, we do need to fix that I haven't played it. Do you know what's funny? I have a board game night at home one night every week. And between going to the UK Games Expo and buying a whole load of new board games, and between the fact that my board game night at home has been cancelled pretty much every other week recently, I just haven't got around to it. So it is on the list. It is on the list. So I think what I might do here is I might just do a reroll, just see what I get, because at the moment a 5 and 6 I can't use, whereas a 2 and a 4 I definitely can. There we go. Okay, so we have, by the skin of our teeth, made it through that round. So this is good. So this one here is going to lower their stress. That's going to be +1 food. I think I'm okay for dice, so I'm going to choose the de-stress. Now, this is where we have the option for cannibalism. So I can now eat... I can eat the crew that were in cryosleep and have died. I'm not going to because it increases stress. And at the moment, I'm kind of okay for dice. But I can't promise that I'm not going to resort to cannibalism before the end of the game. Garzini, I am just waiting for Thursday for my local shop to get the last part of the Dunwich cycle of the Arkham Horror LCG. Then I will be playing through the entire campaign in one sitting. Wow, Garzini. I've been playing the Arkham Horror LCG with a friend for the last few weeks, and he's pre-ordered the last part of the Dunwich cycle. And we might be playing that this Thursday if he gets it delivered and he's free. I don't think you're going to manage to play the entire campaign in one sitting. You're going to need a whole day for that. You won't do it in an evening. I really don't think you will. Okay, let's bring the mechanic in first. I mean, we played the base Arkham Horror game. Like, I had a day off work and he had a day off work, and we sat down and we played the whole thing. Oh, you're doing it on a Saturday. That's fine. I mean, we basically spent all of an afternoon and an evening playing the base Arkham Horror game, but there's so many more scenarios in the second one. Okay. Oh, I can do this. Ah, nuts. Sorry, it's the wrong character. In that case, what I might do is... I can't repair it without re-rolling it. Re-rolling it is a risk. So what I might do is I might just spend those and put that in research while I've got a 3. If I'm going to have to bring a second character in, it might as well be anybody, do you know what I mean? So let's get the captain to finish this one off. No, let's not do that. Let's bring the commander in. No, let's bring the technician in. Because she can spend spare dice on assists. Voided a dice, that is not helpful. Okay, let's just fix the repair then. And now, you see, having done that, I can now re-roll without worrying about the hazards. And that was brilliant, because I can do it. So we've gained a couple of assists, which is really useful. Then I'm going to send the commander in first. That's blown the assists. What to do? It's fine. Let's just... So I'm going to have to bring an additional character in anyway. So what I might as well do is use the 5 to gain some more assists. Spend those. So he's done some good work there, and that means that now I've got the captain applying 4d6 to an 8, which is cool. Those are all rubbish, so I'm just going to do a complete reroll, I think. That's better. So I've got 7 spare, so I can afford to spend a 5 on buffing some dice, and I can afford to keep the 2. So why don't I put that and that in there? So I can spend 3 of my research to gain +1 food, or I can spend 2 on 1 die for the captain. No, let me gain some food. That's fine. So White Wizard UK, if you're still watching, do you still feel that my dice have been lucky, or do you think the RNG's kind of swung around? Because I think it's become, the last few turns, it's been a bit more balanced. I've had a lot more lower numbers that I've had to work with, but I'm still sort of muddling through. So +1 food, -1 dice. I think I can live with that, because that's slightly less stress, whereas that's 2 assist. No, I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to live with that. Specs for this game are quite high for what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a 3D engine, so you're always going to have... I think you're always going to have a bit of an overhead for any game that has complete 3D environments. Because if you look at these, let's have a look. If we do Captain first again. Like, there's quite a lot going on in this location in terms of... I mean, it's not that much. Yeah, I mean, they probably should be lower. I think one of the things about this game is you can't adjust the graphics settings for it, I don't think. Not sure, don't know. Anyway, so we've got a double injury dice on a 3, which is bad times. So let's just roll. Again, I'm going to take the dice buff. I think what I might do is play for... I might try and play for research, which is a bit risky. Oh, so nearly. So nearly. But basically, if I can... Because I've got, like, the ability, if I spend all 6 of my research, to do 28 repair on one module, which means I wouldn't even have to roll. I mean, I am going to have to roll, sadly, because that's just the way it works. But actually, I've gained enough dice to just do this. Never mind. Let's just take what we can get. That was a really good. That was a really good roll. It just wasn't quite what I wanted. Okay, let's do mechanic first. If the mechanic can clear this, hopefully I can send the technician to the other room to reduce her stress. That was rubbish. Better. So I can now spend my 5 on repairing the hull, which is nice. And I've still got a spare 2. Okay. I didn't save the 1. No, I just wanted a complete reroll because I wanted to make sure that I cleared it. But yeah, I take your point. So I'm gonna eat the snack just so that I can put that in there. So I think for me, one of the things about managing the RNG in this game is that it's all about... Fine. Balls. Oh, minus 10% stress all crew. Let's do that. One of the things about reducing the stress... Sorry, one of the things about managing the RNG is about not wasting dice. Like, you have to make sure you use each and every dice that you roll. If you've got unspent dice at the end of a turn, you're wasting resources. I think for me, that's the trick to managing this game. This is a brilliant option. Minus 30% stress for us. Yes. Wicked. So Joy Lee is now really struggling for dice. So do I go cannibalism? It does affect your overall score. Do you know what? I'm gonna show it to you just to show you what it does. There you go. She's eating the human food and her stress has gone up to max. So we really need to chill her out now. 7 repair on one module. That is one of my favourite things to come up. So this is again where it's a bit like a board game, where I'd like to see it's a board game. This research thing down here is basically a deck of cards. Like you can do like a re-roll to like draw new dice, so to draw new cards. And this deck is always fixed. Like I know which things are going to come up if it rolls round often enough. So yeah, there's that. Right, Captain, my Captain. Let's send the commander here first. Yeah, the achievements for this game are really interesting. I think I have all but one achievement. Let me check. The only one I don't have is survive 3 turns with only 1 crew member, because that's actually quite a hard thing to manipulate, to get into a situation where you only have 1 crew member alive and you're in a situation where they can manage everything that's going on. Maybe I should try and play for that, I don't know. Right, so we've got a void, a stasis and an injury. Again, I think I might just try and play for a 2. I'm going to keep the 5 in case I get injured. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Oh well. Okay. Let's bring the captain in. No, let's do the mechanic first. I don't think I'm going to clear everything this turn. I think I've been quite lucky so far. Ouch! Right, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to play this. Do I spend that on the hull, or do I put it into... Let me put it into research. I think that's going to be more valuable. Okay. I've realised one of the other things I've not been showing off is the... There's actually, because we were saying about like the 3D and the requirements of the game, there's actually a lot of stuff that happens if you just click. There's like little bits of animation that you can do. This location's not very good for it. But some of them do. Oh, you've bought it! Well done, Tony. Good lad. Good lad. 7 and 3 for research. That can clear the greenhouse. Oh, what if I spend... If I just spend my research? That's good eyes, Lenin, actually. And then I could actually roll to harvest food. That's not a bad shout, actually. And it will avoid the injury and the void. Let's do that. So now, this is a free roll. Whoop whoop. We've got some food. I might just hold the 6. Well, you've made me buy lots of stuff, so it's about time I sold it to you. Yeah, that is very true. Very, very true. So let's put that into research, and let's put that into... Is it worth a die? I think it's probably worth a die for the captain. Okay, so we are not going to be able to fix that whatever happens, because 5d6 is not enough to clear 26 without some major miracles. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll for stress reduction. There you go, that's one of the things you can click on. So look, because she's a cannibal, you see how her dice have changed. I love that. I think it's brilliant. Okay, reduce stress. Why hasn't that done anything? Maybe it happens at the end. Let's keep the... No, let's just completely re-roll. 1, 2, 3, 4! It's a straight! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend that 4 I've already got. And then put these in. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to take 2 damage to the hull, which is life. Right, how are we doing? Choose a side project. +2 hull, -1 dice. +1 food, -2 health. Let's do that. So this person here can be fed proper food. Oh, actually, is it? What to do, what to do, what to do? I might save the food, actually. because a piece of food is worth 3 dice, so I'm actually losing a die if I spend it on that person. Having said that, that is a lot of... Now let me hold on to it. Let me hold on to it. Okay, so let's give the captain a run down to medical. Look at that roll! So one of those is definitely going to the crew to buff their dice, and I'm going to put the rest into repair because those are such good numbers. Okay, who should be next? Let's use the 4d6. Average of 4d6 is what, 14? So the commander should pretty much definitely do it. And the technician should definitely do that. Yeah, let's do it. Ideally, the technician and the other... So ideally, these two characters would be swapped around, but I can't move them without taking an injury, so I'm not going to do that. So, I mean, even though his average is the same as everybody else's, because he has this ability, it actually pushes his average up slightly. Oh, you might lose the stream opening Steam. Hopefully you won't. So I've got a spare 2. Oh, hang on, let me just put the 1 in here. How does that change things? So I only need a 6. So I can put that 6 in there, and then I've got a free reroll. So hopefully we'll get something nice and high. Yep. Health recovery. And what I might do is I'm going to spend that on gaining a +2 assist and then put that into research. Okay. So now, is it more important to deal with that than to deal with that? No, let's just do it. With her bloodied dice. That's enough. That would clear it. Yeah, I think I've pretty much rolled average. I'm going to not push my luck. I'm going to take that. And then the mechanic. So I have to decide here when I'm rolling now. Because I definitely can't fix this problem in one roll. If I get any doubles, have I got any doubles? I haven't got any doubles. Brilliant. I'm going to keep the 6, the 5 and the 4, and I'm going to re-roll the other 2. Okay, that was worse. But at least the 2 can go into research. And I'm going to spend the rest. Now, do I waste a 1 or do I might go for a re-roll. There you go, shuffle. That's more useful, I think. Got lots of health-based things. So that's cool. We're still taking our damage. So we are now... It is now problematic. Okay, +1 hull, -1 dice, but we do have plenty of food. Or +1 dice and +20% stress. Let's do that. Okay, I can't believe I'm not spending this food. That's crazy talk. I might actually use that now because I want to try and clear these problems. Okay, so we are now... This is where it's now a problem. We are now looking at potentially 5 damage. Potentially 5 damage, and we only have two hulls. So what I'm going to play for, I'm going to use Joy first to here, because I'm going to hopefully pick up some assists. No, let's not do that. Let's just try and repair this one with the engine, with the mechanic. Come on, be lucky, be lucky. This is good news. So I can spend those on repairing the hull. So that's 2 extra hull points, and I've now got... Dare I? Not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk the void. So that, right, so we are now not going to die, which is good. I'm going to send the technician to deal with the food problem. So she's rolled, okay, she's gained a void, but that's okay because I can spend that, and now I've got a free reroll without danger. And we've gained a 6, which means I can have some assists, which is cool. Which means Commander is going to do that. Garzini, are they forever red dice now? Yes, because she is a cannibal, her dice will now forever be bloodstained. Not like between runs, but for the rest of this run, her dice will be bloodstained, and my score sheet at the end of this game will have blood splattered across it. Yeah, Tony, they are really nice mechanics. I really like the way each room has its own ability, and then you can spend unused dice on research cards, and then each character has their own skill. I think it's such a well-designed game, and it really doesn't deserve some of the hate that it's had in the Steam reviews. People don't like it just because the RNG makes the game really hard, but I don't think it's random at all. I think this game is so far from random. Okay, that could have been better. I have exactly what I need to fix it, but that doesn't leave me with anything. Although, actually, if I spend that there, I now have a spare 3. So let's do that. And now I can re-roll and hopefully pick up something useful. No. No. I'm gonna have to give up on that. Sadly there's nothing I can use this 2 for. Never mind. Have I played Dead of Winter? I have played half of Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter is another game that I would really like to play again, because I played it at the board game day, and the guy whose game it was needed to leave early, so we played like 5 rounds and then had to pack up. So I'd really like to play it properly through to the end. I really liked it. So 4d6 on a 16, that is just below average. So I'm going to need to be a little bit lucky, which I have been, although not with injury. I'm going to have to spend them all. I won't have any spares. Never mind. But that's okay, because at least now I've cleared all the events. Yeah, shame it's a pain in the arse to set up. Yeah, so yeah, research. I've got a research to gain 3 health. It's not necessarily an issue. Right, +1 food, -2 dice for us. That's quite a big, but that's -4 dice. But I can give it back to them with the food. Although that's going to prevent stasis, -1 dice for all crew. Where's that going to leave me? No, I'm going to choose this one. Although stress is an issue, but... Yeah, as you say, I have a research project that I can use to fix the captain, so it's not as bad. And I've also got a research thing I can use to prevent stasis if stasis is going to be an issue on like this one. So average of 3d6 is 10.5. That's not great for that one. It's a good one for the mechanic though. 4d6. Let's bring the mechanic up to here. Ouch. That was not good. I should have done prevent stasis. I was even talking about it. Why didn't I click on prevent stasis? Okay. Let's just... Okay, stasis means I can't re-roll them. So I'm just going to re-roll the other two and hope for some luck, which I got. Although I have exactly the requirements, which is a pity. Never mind. Never mind. So let's get the... We definitely want to clear one of these two off, otherwise we're going to die. So why don't I send the technician... So there's a slight balance here with this game. This is one of the things I find really interesting, is that if you have like an injury hazard, it's safer to use a crew member that has less dice, because the more dice you roll, the more chances you are of getting injured. So at the moment, the captain has 4 dice, but he can only take 2 injuries without dying. So he's actually a dangerous person to use in this room right now. What I might actually just do is bring the technician over. So like the most amount of injury she can take is 3, because she's only got 3 dice. And actually she's rolled pretty decently, 6 and a 5. So I think what I might do is I'm going to spend the assist. Spend the 6. No, I'm going to keep the 6. I'm going to re-roll the 2. Ah, so it's another 2. Never mind. Tony, by the way, if you want RNG hell, you need to play 100% orange juice. What is that a PC game or is that a tabletop game? Okay, so the captain is now 4d6 to make an 18, which is pretty unlikely. But I do have an assist. I am going to use the +3 health. That's really awkward numbers. I've like rolled just massively below average there. Let's just go for a full reroll. Better. Ah, it's voided. Damn it. Okay, so on the basis that I cannot complete this anyway, I'm going to give the dice a go. And I'm going to spend all of this on research. Oh, it's on Steam, but it's an anime crazy board game. Okay, interesting. So we are now in trouble because we are going to be destroyed if I don't fix at least one of these. So I'm going to go to here. I've got 5d6 to make 15, which is off the top of my head below average, which is fine. Plus I also have his special ability. So let's hope I don't roll loads of 2s. Wow, look at that. I am 10 over. That means I've got 2. Oh, that's really annoying. That's really annoying because I need to spend one of the 6s. So what I could do is I could spend all of my research to really reduce everybody's... It's really annoying that from here you can't look back at your crew. Yeah, let me do that. Let me spend the sedatives. And then put that in there. So now hopefully everybody is really unstressed. Okay, so you can get it for £1.50 in a sale. Oh, where are we? Where are we? Oh, we're 2 away from landing on Mars, which means I need to play the next 2 rounds really carefully. So +1 food, plus 30% stress, prevent stasis, -1 dice. It's going to be that one. So I'm going to spend the food on him. Oh, okay, so no, this is the turn. This is the turn where we're going to Mars. So only crew members who end up in the command console are going to Mars. And that's really important. That's really harsh because I have to. That's really harsh. I have to fix this in order to prevent the game from ending, which means regardless of what happens, regardless of what's going to happen, I'm not going to be able to get all 4 crew now to Mars, which is a really harsh realization. My best solution, or I know there is a way I can do it. There's a way I can do it because I've got the mechanic. So if the mechanic can roll a 5 or a 6, yes, Space Lenin, that's what I've just realized. So the mechanic, if he rolls a couple of 5s and 6s, that's it, done. I'm keeping the 5. And I've got another 5, so +1 hull. No movement damage. 1, 2, 3. No, let's do the technician first because I get bonuses for the amount of dice that I have at the end of the game. Six. Now that's maxed out my research, which is good. And now hopefully if I can roll a 5 or a 6 with the captain, that's going to buff everyone's dice and that's going to give me loads of bonus points at the end of the game. Yes! That's it! That's it! Boom! Oh no, because I haven't done the commander. Oh, I should have done him before the captain! Can I just end turn? Is that possible? There's no end turn option, is there? I have to roll. That's really annoying. I should have done that first. Ah. Oh well. There we go. 2 hull damage. Does not matter. -1 dice all. Kind of annoying, but doesn't matter.
There were times I thought we'd never make it.
Okay.
Times I doubted it would even be here if we did.
I won't spoil the plot for you. Seeing as we haven't been actually following the storyline between the missions, which would explain what's going on. We're on our way to Mars. I've just realised Tony said be right back. Tony's... oh, you see there. Good game. Yeah. Woo! I won't spoil the plot for you. It's really fun to uncover the plot yourself. So let's check out my score. A bloodstained score, 1,636. I can't remember if that's good or not. I think it's pretty good. Let me check out if I view my screenshots, I have previously saved some of my scores. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What have I previously scored? Viewing. Oh, goodness me. How do I... Oh, filter by game. Filter by Tharsis. So I've scored 1,751 before. Yeah. So this isn't my best score, sadly, but that's a pretty decent run. I got everybody to Mars. Oh, you're off, Tony. Yeah, you're downloading Tharsis right now. Hopefully watching me has given you a bit of an insight in how to kind of get started with it. I really hope you enjoy it. And I'm actually going to call that an end to the stream tonight. So thank you very much for joining me, Garzini, Space Lenin on White Wizard. White Wizard? I don't get your name wrong. Oh, he's not here anymore anyway. Thank you very much to any lurkers who've been watching and not taking part in chat. I have appreciated you being here and watching it as well. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the games I've played tonight. I normally do my stream on a Wednesday night, 9 PM UK time, so we're on 9 PM. We're on BST at the moment, so that's 8 PM UTC. You can get in touch with me, twitch.tv/holdmykidney, I'm Hold My Kidney on Twitter. I'm Hold My Kidney on Steam. I'm Hold My Kidney on Facebook. I'm Hold My Kidney wherever you may wish to find me. So thank you all very much, and I will hopefully see you guys Wednesday night for my regular stream. And also, if you're into Elite Dangerous, or if you just enjoy watching streams and enjoy a good podcast, we record the Lave Radio podcast at 8:30 UK time on a Tuesday night. Twitch.tv/Lave Radio. See you all soon, and thank you for joining me.